What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York here at Aftershock Festival 2022, and we are here with Derek of Classless Act. Great to be able to talk with you, man. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Alex. I'm very appreciative of your time.
Anytime, man. Anytime. It's so great to have you here. Welcome to the show, the debut Classless Act album. It's out now. It sounds fantastic. This is the debut album. What was the thought process going into the making of this one?
This is you only get one chance to release your first album, right?
Yep.
So we've been writing music for years, individually, together with other people. We have all these songs. We must have picked our favorite 12 out of 60 or something. So this is kind of our real big listen to this is us. This is really who we are as people, as children and as preteens and stuff. And so it was just a very kind of a cool little thing about us.
Yeah. Was there a preconceived vision behind the making of this, or was there any improvising and experimentation involved?
There was not really. I can't say there was something a concept or anything really. Of course, in the studio you experiment, right? You try boxes, you hit pieces of pans or whatever. But no, it's pretty much just the songs closest to our heart we had to put on the album. And one thing that's I noticed is thematic with this album is each one has its own little story. It's kind of its own thing. It doesn't really relate to the next. And maybe we wrote it the writers involved. Sometimes it's not it's just us or it's just one person. Maybe we have someone from a band, a big known band, and you could kind of hear that. And I don't know where I'm going with this, Alex.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I keep going. I was enjoying this.
Yeah.
Lyrically, though, has there ever been a time where a lyrical idea could help dictate the direction of the sound in a way?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's no one way to write a song, and but yeah, no, I mean, sometimes I'm trying to think what song might have had that. I don't know. Dane wrote this song called "Walking Contradiction," right? And just that title was sick, "Walking Contradiction." I think it's it's a used expression, but the song kind of really formulated around his lyrics and stuff. It just became this thing, and even sometimes how you enunciate a word, if you say something funny in a funny way,
you could enunciate stuff to make orange actually rhyme with something. So.
Yeah, and then it sounds melodic, and then you have a song.
Yep. Perfect. And have you ever had the best lyrics ever? Then there was one syllable over every arrangement you've had.
My God, the story of my life. The story of my life, Alex. It's the worst part about editing, because you want that lyric and you want to say stuff. And I was, we're working with Joe Ciccarelli and Bob Rock on this album, and they're just telling me, Derek, take all those words out. You're saying too many words, and they're like. But I'm but that's the point. It's no, less is more. And of course, less is more. But no, that happens all the time. A lot of these songs on Welcome to the Show started at 13 minutes long. There's just opuses of little twists and turns. We had to really shave them. Our shortest song on the album is called Give It To Me. It's 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 2:30. I think it was, at one point, it was 7 minutes, weirdly.
What?
When you hear it now, you're like, what?
Are you guys rock or you prog? What the hell?
I know, right? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Everyone loves, Chuck loves Rush, and we love Zeppelin and Beatles, and we like bands that like to get weird.
Definitely. I mean, I could tell that you guys like to get weird after seeing your show. You let everything happen.
You saw that right now?
Just a little bit of it.
That's
I
great.
caught one song. But
you guys are busy,
awesome.
Man. I get it. I can't believe you even smelled us. That's awesome.
When it comes to getting that inspiration, is it easier to come up with ideas for lyrics or melodies when you're in the company of your other bandmates, or do you prefer to be more alone in isolation?
Me personally, I like isolation a little bit. Of course, I've only been with these guys for a little time. I'm sure after a while it'll be let's write together more. I need you there. But as of now, I've just been because then you could just kind of you could just sort of pace the floor without being stared at. You could sort of talk out loud and try something immediately without a judgment on it, and it could be the worst thing ever, and then maybe you put that in, and then it ends up being the best thing ever. I kind of like that process a little bit, but writing with them is also I can admit it's something really new, to me, something fresh. It always feels fresh when I write with those guys.
Is there a similar energy that you put into your live shows as you do in your songwriting, or is songwriting and playing live a completely separate art form altogether?
Ooh, no, there is a similar energy. It's like
Similar.
totally, yeah. Like when songwriting, it's very like it's like your blood is on the table. Woo! They love what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
They love me. No, but like you put it all. You just kind of get like really honest, and you're just like, no, that's bad, and no, and like, you know, you kind of not literally, but you kind of like open yourself and like put it on a paper, and you're like, that looks cool. Let's do this. And so like I kind of take that approach with live. I just want to give everyone everything and be like, this is just me, and here's my stomach, and you know, act like I'm really present.
I think Welcome to the Show does classify even as a live album because it has that live energy behind it. Even though it's not a concert that's filmed, transcribed to a CD, it really does seem to have like that sort of live energy presence into it.
Oh, that's cool. Well, we did like most of the tracks like kind of live in a room together. So we overdubbed it, you know, of course, did a couple of solos and stuff and vocals. But it was kind of a live album in a way, in a sense. Sunset Sound on Sunset Boulevard.
Hell yeah. And here comes the most difficult question. How do you know when a song is done?
Oh, that is a hard question. Because, man, dude, like, every song on this album, as I mentioned, like, we ended up recording, like, 6 to 10 demos for each of them. You know, like, we keep shaving it and cutting it and then adding it back and cutting it. So it's like, how do you know when it's done? Man, you know it's done. This sounds ridiculous, but when it's recorded officially,
Cool. There's no turning back at that point.
there's no turning back. Yeah, but like when you lay the basic tracks down, you're kind of hearing things like, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that, or this does need something there now. Now that I hear it, for me also though, it's like as long as I know that my lyrics are final, because I take forever on lyrics. The melody is kind of simple, but if I know that my words are final, it's like, this is done. You know, if we change a guitar lick, fine. It's just like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you could always adjust an effect, but on a guitar, but one lyric being off could fuck up the whole thing.
Yeah, man. And like, what's and but it, or what are the transitional words?
I would call it like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah, I call them bridge words.
Bridge words.
Like the way that the bridge in a song structure. That's what
That's
I call
right. It
like
takes you
the
over.
bridge in a sentence.
Man, like those are so important. I never knew how important they were until recently. Saying but or yet. And you don't want to say yet sometimes. Yet is a little too, you know. So
As somebody who's done the interview, do you know how many times instinctively you always say interesting or fair enough
Right.
or there you go? It's just an instinct thing,
Yeah.
especially. And the final question I wanted to ask you is circling back to live shows, actually. When it comes to your stage presence and crowd interaction, is that something that you also have to practice and that you have to rehearse in a way, or is that something that just develops over time as you perform more and more?
like the stage moves and
Yeah.
stuff. You know, that was super natural up until this year. I was like never rehearsing what I did because I was just like, I'm just going to find things. And then that's really cool because then you start inventing things on the spot and you're like, cool. No, but then this is my first like 5-piece band and I don't want to hit anyone or I don't want to, like I don't look at what they're doing, but I want to make sure I'm being cohesive with them. So yeah, every now and then I kind of like, I think about it. I even write it down. Like maybe I do like, maybe on this lyric I'll do this, just because it's a period on that or something, you know. So I've been thinking about it more this year because we went on tour with like Motley Crue and stuff this year, and doing that like stadiums, there's so much real estate. You just kind of need to. You got to plan a little bit more. You can't just do whatever.
You have to be like a hawk. It's almost like a methodical. It's like you're preparing for battle, not just a show.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to get killed. You got to go through.
Yeah, it's time to kill or be killed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So it needs strategy.
So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time today, for such an awesome chat. Is there just anything else that you'd like to promote with Welcome to the Show? Could we be expecting to see you guys on the road fairly soon, or maybe even some more new music in the works?
Oh yeah, man. We're just playing. We're playing shows all the time. We're in LA for a little bit. We're from LA, but you'll see us across the seas next year. We'll go to Europe and wherever. We definitely will. And yeah, expect some cool live recordings coming out. Some cool music video was just finished being recorded, maybe with a feature. I don't know who. I'm not gonna say who. And keep up with us at www.classlessact.com. It has all our socials and all our things at Class merch and a tip jar and Cameo. If you want us on Cameo, we'll go nuts for you.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. We are here with Classless Act. Be sure to pick up Welcome to the Show, Aftershock 2022, Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.
Boom!